Welcome to A Funny Feeling Podcast. I'm Betsy Sodaro.
And I'm Marcy Jarrow. This is a podcast where comedians tell us their paranormal experiences, and we listen to yours as well.
Oh, yeah. And if you have one of these paranormal experiences that you want to share with us, please email it to us at funnyfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Now get cozy
and prepare yourself to be scared silly.
This is a Funny Feeling Podcast.
Ooh, baby.
Yes.
Very exciting today, Betsy.
Really, it is. I'm pumped.
Because we got, for me, my first LA Herald teammate.
Whoa.
And both UCB stars that we got today.
Yeah,
so.
we
and
do.
then they actually had real careers and stuff right outside.
Yeah,
so
they do.
I'll just get to it. We have the hosts of On Brand with Jon and Marisa, Marisa Pinson and John Glover. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Winter's ghost. The host of On Brand died 3 years ago.
Is there anything scarier than a former improv team? No.
No, and they still want to do a Herald.
Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here.
We were saying it's very serendipitous because I had like typed to Betsy that I wanted like a list of people I would like on the pod, and then you were on it. Marissa, you emailed me half an hour later.
I think this union is there's angels afoot.
That's
what I'll say.
Can I just say the things that we're going to talk about today are things that I talk about with people in my everyday life, and they make fun of me for. So it's nice to be in a safe zone right now.
Oh, get nuts.
This
nuts,
is
John.
a very safe place.
Yes, I feel it. I feel that energy.
We love it. We love hearing people's freaky stories.
Very few times we've had crazy people where we've talked to, but we're still cool with fully insane people too.
Good.
Gotta be.
That's something fun about also just being in LA where like everything is kind of like accepted, like trying any kind of like interesting energy work, Reiki, psychic medium, anything. You wonder where your own personal line is. And I am concerned because I don't know that I have one.
You don't need one.
I think I will pay anybody $80 to lay on a table and for them to hover over me and tell me something that's going on that I don't know, and I will walk out and I'll text 14 friends and go like, this changed my life.
It was awesome. I feel so good.
Look,
half the time it's them telling me stuff I already know and me being like, wow,
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, isn't that crazy that part of what going to a psychic is someone just being like, this is something that you know already, and you go, whoa, here's a bunch of money.
Yes.
I went to a psychic at a party years ago, and we all had individual readings. And after everyone's reading, she was like, "No, don't tell anyone anything I've told you at least for 3 months." And of course, we get home and we're like, she said she had told us all the exact same thing. She just wanted 3 months distance before we put the pieces together,
so she could skip out of town.
Yeah. She moved. She was like, I have to find a new place.
I have 3 months to get out of here because I just told everybody the exact same thing.
Speaking of psychics, I have to put John on blast because I got him a gift certificate for a very expensive, very prestige, high caliber psychic for his birthday 4 or 5 years ago, and he has not used it yet. And I am concerned that this psychic is going to leave Los Angeles, and you have to see her in person in West Hollywood at her residence.
What happened 4 or 5 years ago? COVID. I mean, I feel like I have an excuse.
Now, 2025.
I'm lazy. Here's the thing.
Being precautious.
If you give me a gift certificate, it goes in a little wooden box on a shelf. I'm so bad about using gift certificates because in my head, because I live in LA, one day I'm going to be homeless, and then I can be like, well, I can still go to Pottery Barn, I can get a psychic reading,
I can go to Radio Shack, I can go to Circuit City.
No, when a store is going out of business, that's when I'll use them. I used my Circuit City one last week. They were open.
There's nothing good left then. You have to go. Before the psychic is on sale, you need to go. now.
It does sound,
You can't trust her.
It does sound like a really good psychic, like a little story from it. Her husband went, and we had just lost a good friend of ours. And he was so like, there's no way it's real. He made a new email address so she wouldn't be able to search him.
He
made
up a fake name. He made up a fake persona and went in and saw this psychic that I was like, I came home weeping. This changed my life. This psychic is incredible. She holds your hand and she tells you that she can see your whole life, and she's been able to do it since she was a child. And you get in her apartment and it's like, okay, you're leaning kind of into it. You have like a gargoyle. You have like a crystal ball. You're kind of playing into the lifestyle. And I'll support it. She's absolutely gifted, incredible psychic. And I heard about her from a friend who had used her and absolutely loved her. And then so David went to go see her, and he fake Gmail, fake name. And I'm like, okay, rule number one about this spooky shit is you have to have an open heart. You have to be a vessel, or else nothing can penetrate you. And that is like, why are we wasting money on this if you're not going to be vulnerable enough to let her in?
Yes.
And so he goes, and he's like, she said things like our friend who had passed away loved the Beatles, like love the Beatles. And the lady was like, was he a Rolling Stones fan? And David's like, she thought he liked the Rolling Stones. And I'm like, that's not how it works. It's like energy. It's like she's translating something. Like Rolling Stones and Beatles are of the same ilk.
Yes.
Even before that, like if I remember correctly, when he walked in, she was like, I see a man coming in behind you. Like our friend was with him. And she's like, does that mean anything to you? He's like, no, I don't know another man.
I never met a man.
I know, right? Yeah,
That's
wild.
You have to really be open to it.
You have to be open, John. You have to be open. You have to use this gift certificate, or I'm going to freak the fuck out.
We just had a medium on our podcast, and she was talking about that as they're becoming more, in tune, they misread stuff like that because it's symbols being brought to them, and like
yes, it's symbols. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
David.
Come on,
either get it or you don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about your pod, On Brand.
Yes.
Well, Jon and I host On Brand with Jon and Marisa. It's a podcast about one of our favorite things, which is brands. So each episode, Jon and I take turns surprising each other with a brand that we have researched. Jon is an Emmy Award-winning researcher. I am not an Emmy Award-winning, but I have access to Wikipedia. We take
You'll
turns.
be able to tell the difference between the episodes. I'm just saying, but it's okay.
John's like down at the library with the microfiche, like looking at like ancient newspapers. We take turns researching and then teaching each other about the history of a brand that we love. So we've done Pottery Barn and Play-Doh, Uno, just whatever brand is maybe like relevant to the season or the holiday, or that just has kind of been on our mind. And we'll take turns teaching each other all about it. Of course, it's also, chit chat and giggles and having a good time. But that's the core of what the pod is all about.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Has there been a brand that like the story of it blew your mind?
Oh my gosh. Jon, can you tell them about Sarah Josepha Hale?
Oh my God. Have you ever heard of Sarah Josepha Hale? Okay, so Sarah Josepha Hale was this woman, and basically I did an episode on her. It was for Thanksgiving. There was like 3 things.
It was her idea to have Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, so I did an episode on her, and she came up, and she like basically was the reason why we have Thanksgiving, like have turkey for Thanksgiving, and she kind of introduced the Christmas tree to America. Like she'd seen it in England.
Why we wear white on wedding days.
I'm getting that. So I was like, that's amazing. And then my next episode, I'm researching something completely different. And it comes up that Sarah Josepha Hale is the reason we all, like, women wear white to their weddings in America. Like, all of a sudden, she's like Forrest Gump of everything that I'm doing. Someone has sent us a bobblehead of her now. Like, if you ever have a minute, if you're bored, waiting in a doctor's office or something, just look at her Wikipedia. It's insane. This woman's crazy.
There's so much fun stuff like that. And then also there's like fun things like the guy who invented Pringles, his ashes, he was buried in a Pringles can.
Thank goodness.
In several. They had to chop him up and like put his arm in one.
All of his favorite flavors. Ranch, cheddar.
Have you done Oneida? Is it Oneida or the
fries? Oh, no.
That's Ore-Ida.
Ore-Ida. We were just talking about
Ore-Ida because she had Ore-Ida fries last weekend and she couldn't believe how good they were. I was like, okay, I guess we're doing Ore-Ida soon.
Well, Oneida, I think it is. It's like if you look on the back of most plates, it's like you're like, oh, these are Oneida plates.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what
and
you're
it's a religious cult.
Oh,
Okay, writing it down.
That's-
Dibs.
Maybe
That's
not a
not
cult. It might just be a sect. But
It's a
there's
fine line,
difference.
right?
Yeah.
It's a fine line.
The
There's
crazy
so-
thing is, we both always loved brands, but now we're 13 episodes into this, and you pick a brand that you like, and I am constantly amazed by how much I learned that I didn't know. The smallest little things that I find so interesting. Like I blew her away. For the In-N-Out episode, I actually read the whole book on In-N-Out, and I learned in that episode, back when In-N-Out was like first beginning, back when people were cool, the greasers and Fonzes were hanging out in the parking lot of places like that, the employees of In-N-Out called them the animals. They're like, we got to get the animals out of the parking lot. And then this one animal kept ordering a hamburger a certain way, and that's why they call it Animal Style. And I was like, are you kidding me? So,
I got chills.
That's so did Marisa. And I still do.
Yeah, I think when Jon told us that story, I think I cried. Like, it's just we're godless. We have no religion. Like, brands and the stories and the way they make us feel is like what we have. It's like you can recognize the logo, you can recognize the mascot. It evokes all these memories of like childhood. There's so much nostalgia, and then there's new stuff. Like Jon did a fantastic episode on Pop Mart and Labubu. So like we have the new stuff coming in as well as like the feel good childhood nostalgia.
And
stuff.
we'll do like we did a Taylor Swift episode and Santa Claus, like things that are not traditional brands, but they're brands.
It is, yeah, for sure.
So definitely check it out. If you, the fun thing about it is, someone may think they're not into brands. If you look at the list, everyone's going to find at least one thing on there that they're like, oh, I like that brand.
Yes.
So
that's so fun.
I mean, one of my favorite brands is BuzzBalls.
Are those the alcoholic drinks that come in the ball? Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that, yeah.
It's a
So
woman.
you like dinnerware and alcohol.
It's a woman-owned business, and they're pretty.
Good for her.
Yeah.
We do celebrate. That's why we love Sarah Josepha Hale. Anytime we can find a celebrated woman, because early on we kept finding important women that were overshadowed by the men that took over the brand.
There were so many stories of like companies failing, and then the wife is washing dishes and when he gets home from work, and she's like, why not just do this one thing? And then that one thing is what makes like the company immediately
She'll be like,
very
call
successful.
it Play-Doh. Why are you calling it molding clay? Just call it Play-Doh. And he's like, okay. And then it's like $1 billion brand.
Yeah.
That smell.
Yeah.
The smell of Play-Doh.
Thanks for the promo. We're very passionate about it. We love it. Like, I love everything about it.
It's so fascinating because there is such a weird history, or like a lot of times like kind of a weird reason why something ended up being what it is, where it's like this dude had a whole other idea.
I mean, it's discovering a weird foam is like 3 of our stories. They found a weird foam. 9 of the stories, it's like a little boy was selling fish by the river, and now he invented IKEA. It's like every story has an origin, man.
You had a real advantage if you had a good idea 100 years ago because there was nothing. So like you could have been a poor button salesman in Delaware, and then you went on to be Levi Strauss. Like it's just everything was so simple that if you had even one idea that didn't suck or kill people, you are now the king of your industry.
Now, do you know, have you done YKK?
The zipper company, no, but that's on the list for sure.
They're on the list for sure.
That's a good one.
Okay.
And that's the fun thing too, because everyone will be like, like everyone has like a thing they want to hear more about.
Yes. I know, it's so interesting.
It is a never-ending topic. People are like, aren't you going to run out of brands? I'm like, literally, if we just did all the stores in Glendale Galleria, that's like a 10-year show.
Yeah. You should do it like a Glendale summer or something, where it is like, we're doing everything in the Galleria. Or like all the kiosks or something.
Sometimes we'll do battles, like we did Duncan Hines versus Betty Crocker, where each of us takes a brand and we try to see who's like the cooler brand. So we'll do brand battles.
Is it Duncan Hines? Is that the cooler one?
Well, he was I think he was he was a bad man. By the end, I was finally like, you know what? Let's give it to Betty because he was kind of a bad man.
Look, you're going to find with a lot of the brands, a racist is going to be involved.
Sure.
Oh, for sure. Walt Disney, everybody. And that's one of the things I always say is, I will not do my research from the brand's website because they have all been watered down so much over the last 50 or 100 years. I am a nerd, and I have researched for a very long time. So I get like newspapers.com, and I'm looking at literal newspaper articles from the 20s and 30s and finding the stories when they were actually coming out. So yeah, I'm a nerd.
One of my first, well, then we'll get into spooky stuff, but one of my first jobs was doing a website for the 100-year anniversary of Kellogg's. So I had to
Cereal City,
the sanatorium and all that stuff. That's how it started. It's like there's a movie too. What is the name of the movie about it? It's about the sanatorium, though. It was
a sanatorium.
Yeah, we did a Kellogg's episode. Yeah, it was like to promote not having sex. The cereal. Right?
What?
Yeah, I think so.
It was.
I don't remember. They had a wellness center. It's like they were doing wellness early on, and they were calling them sanatoriums. So, and they were like, "This is very healthy. A wheat that is corn that is flattened. It's flattened corn, and it's a and it's a flake." And you can eat it, and it's so good for you. Cornflakes.
We have a couple episodes that might jive with your listeners because I did Spirit Halloween, which is a really fun story, and I did the Charlie Brown, The Great Pumpkin.
Cute.
So those are in the spooky world.
Highly recommended then. So, but now we're going to ask you the question that we ask all of our guests.
Yes.
Which is, what do you believe about the paranormal?
Do you want to go or me?
Oh, I'll go. I believe in everything until proven otherwise, which is impossible. I believe in angels, demons, the Da Vinci Code. I believe in it, all of Dan Brown's work.
Yes.
I believe. This is what I'm nervous about. National Treasure. I conspiracy theories that I could easily get sucked into a cult. I am so like a hair away from believing, giving my life away to anything that promises to make me happy and healthy.
You also we learn years later or whatever that some of this shit has been going down that feels so conspiracy theory where you're like, I can't possibly believe this. But then we learn like, oh, this shit is happening. Like National Treasure is happening.
Absolutely. And I famously have a big rant about NASA. I find NASA to be an incredible waste of money. I think we have enough problems here on Earth. And I will extend that to say, if we diverted even a fraction, so the reason why we look at space is because like, wow, wouldn't that be cool if there was like life out there? Well, there's ghosts here. So how about we put $5 billion into investigating ghosts? Because
you're mad at NASA, but you want to put tons of money into ghost hunting.
$5 billion is nothing compared to what we spent on touching moon rock.
Exactly. And the only reason why it's so important is because, wow, wouldn't that be cool? I'm like, we got cool shit here.
Yes.
We got aliens walking amongst us. Like, let's find them.
Watch TLC. They're covering all those things. We have ancient aliens. We have ghost hunters.
Imagine what they could do with the NASA budget. With the cost of but one spacesuit, we could finally, for once and for all, prove the existence of ghosts, and we're not going to do it?
And also, if we're going to divert funds, let's not save the pandas. They don't want to save themselves. I don't
They're
think
falling out of trees left and right.
I love this.
Their babies are this big. They look like naked thumbs, and then they're always shocked. Let pandas figure out panda business, and they crawl up the skinniest trees.
Great point.
And they're falling out of them, and they're not even nice. Did you see that panda that attacked its keeper? Wouldn't stop attacking its keeper. Thank God they have no survival skills, so they can't really hurt you.
I mean, we've probably taken all of their land. I could see them being a little ornery. Why do they have a keeper?
There we go.
She's trying to help them mate. They don't want to.
They're ready to die.
They're ready forced to mate.
No, well, they are. That's why we got to stop. We got to stop trying to make them. We have to let them.
I'm with you. Let's get out of space. Let's get out of the jungle. Let's focus on what's happening here in cities with people.
You are the first person I've ever spoken to who has spoken ill of pandas.
I just think let nature take its course. That's what I'm
Marcy's
saying.
brought this up before too.
I love it. I
I
love
can
it.
tell. This
I
is an
believe
important
this.
thing for her. She's got a worry about it.
I'm always just like, I have a big picture of a panda and just no, and I get a new picture so I can just do the no symbol again. Look, I like that they exist, but let's not go crazy with them. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not cut other things or cast off other things that could be more important
and also
for the
they
sake
aren't-
of an animal because they're cute.
Could they possibly just be doing like the 4B movement because they don't think that they need to mate? You know, like
There you go.
you know how in Korea there's
Yeah.
a 4B movement where
Yeah.
Explain it to me.
it's like a movement that started in Korea where women are just like, we're not dealing with men anymore at all. We won't have anything to do with them, and that's just our life we're gonna live. And so they're not gonna have children. They're not gonna have relationships, and they're like, and society will end eventually, and that's what they're choosing.
Wow.
So
And this is what pandas are choosing.
Pandas are trying to self-extinct.
Yes, we won't let them.
And that
right.
is their right. That is their right.
Right.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. All right. So where I stand on the paranormal,
Sorry.
well, my name is Jon. I love pandas and I love short walks on the beach. No, I mean, I am not as open to everything as Marisa appears to be. I have a very open mind about things. I am one of those people that believes it seems insane that we would be the only life in this known universe. I've had a couple of things that do make me believe in an afterlife or that this isn't the first time we've gone around. But even believing that, part of me is like, but really? Do I really believe it? So I struggle a little bit, but I have seen things that I truly believe. And I kind of am now of the mindset as far as us going around that if we go around, we choose kind of some basics of what our life will be. Like, I'm going to go into this and these are the things I need to work on and I need to learn. So I need to know what it's like to battle cancer or to have some sort of mental health issue or something like that. And then when I come out of that one, then I can move on to something else until we kind of become like this, like our vision of what a great being is. And then, and I mean, this is going to sound so stupid to jump right to this, but like people like Billie Eilish to me, I don't believe Billie Eilish this is her first time around this thing. Like she's just, there's too much like soul and like something in her.
Billie Eilish is proof of reincarnation. Is what you're saying.
She's got the
Sampuco.
She's got Sampuco eyes.
Yeah, I know it's going to sound stupid, but there's so many people like that have just like, there's no way that they've done this one time.
So your soul struggle in your life, Jon, is that you wanted to feel like what it was like to not have a pool or have air conditioning.
I think for me, for this life, it was like I needed to know what it was like to be a podcaster. And so now I'm doing that. And now I'm ready to move on to something new.
Being a podcaster is synonymous with not having air conditioning. Like they're one and the same. Like if you're a podcaster, you don't have a pool. You don't have
noisy.
So much right now because you can't have it on either.
I'm so cold in this house. My hands are freezing.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
I know.
Betsy's like sweating bullets. Everyone, if you see the video, guys, it's obscene because she's wearing a very sheer white shirt.
Dripping.
Dude,
Very sheer.
See right
if
through
you
my
ever
shirt.
see our videos, I had to wear, I showed the audience like 2 weeks ago, I had to wear a full on like cloth napkin under my shirt to like just soak up like a sweat barrier.
You could sell that on eBay to a pervert.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
hell
We are
yeah,
looking-
you can.
podcasters need to capitalize more on the pervert market. I feel like that's kind of a little untapped.
It's funny because, like, we're going into a recession, but I think perverts are still buying that kind of stuff.
Somehow
though.
perverts always find the money.
They always find their way.
Look, do they have a
their way.
401k? No 401k, but they do have socks. They have dirty
garbage
socks.
bag full of dirty socks that they pay top dollar for. Yeah, good for them.
perverts.
They are resourceful for sure.
So you two have a shared experience, correct?
Yeah, I think we both have a couple individual experiences, and we had a nice shared experience like 10 years ago.
Yes.
Well,
Where
tell us.
Basically, we did a past life regression. It was a group event. It was cheaper to do it as a group. I don't know how much it cost or who put it together. I think a friend of Marissa's.
Yeah, me and Deanna did.
Basically, we brought someone came in and kind of walked us through a past life thing, and I'm trying to remember exactly how it worked. Basically, she would like do a little countdown. She's like, every time I count to like 10, you're going to move forward in this life 5 years.
This
and
is also something I love about our like the circle, like and it being an LA thing. I feel like I messaged like 10 people. I was like, hey, we're having a past life regression lady like come to our living room. Is that something you'd be into? And like the amount of people were like, yes. Absolutely.
Please.
Oh, been really looking for a lady. This is so convenient. I was just trying to find somebody. I was like, oh, great. LA is the best.
It's
we're all
funny.
We're sitting on like pulled around chairs in a circle. And it's kind of vulnerable because like, you can't do one of these things and not cry. It's just kind of like part of it. Like, I feel like everybody was kind of crying either a little bit or a lot.
Except your husband. But we'll get to him.
Why does he do this? Why does he do these things if he's not an open vessel?
You cannot do a past life regression without having an open mind
and
heart.
Oh my God!
Because
no
you really
way.
have to. You were like, am I making this up or is this real? And then you just have to give into it and be like, this is real. This happened.
It's kind of like a guided meditation where you're shoulder to shoulder with 10 people who you kind of know, and she's leading you in like a visualization, basically, like you're walking up to a door, you know what the door looks like, feel the handle in your hand, you're opening the door, you're walking down the stairs. It's kind of like a hypnosis. Have you ever done like a hypnosis kind of thing? It was kind of like that, but you're generating the story in your mind. So if you're a skeptic, which I'm not, you think like, well, I'm just making this up. Like the ideas are popping in my head. So obviously it's my brain that's generating them. And we're like, no.
But you're also, we're in a unique position because we are LA. So it's a room full of like screenwriters and people that are like trying to sell scripts. So we're like, okay, interior basement. Like, we've all written the story.
If you tried to do this with like Aunt Charlene and Uncle Larry, it might be like, they're like, okay, so then look in the mirror. What do you see? And Uncle Larry might just be like, myself. I don't know.
Myself, but like with a 6-pack, dude.
Exactly. We're story generators. We're creative. So yes, we're improvisers. So of course the imagery came easily to us, but that doesn't mean it's any less real. No.
Right.
Yeah. I gave into it pretty quickly. So my experience with it was I forget how you see yourself. I don't know if you just know what you look like.
Probably
or you see a reflection.
You, like, look in a pond.
Mirror. I looked in a puddle.
Like a piss puddle. Oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I was fat in that life too, I guess.
Dang.
So mine was very short because, like I said, she'll be like, she'll give you an opportunity to like explore, and then she'll count to 5 or 10, and then when she finishes that, you move forward 5 years. And one of the things she said is like, you will see people in this life that are people in your life now. Her belief is like Marisa and I could have been brother and sister in a past life, or maybe she was my mother because she's very nurturing to me in this life. So like you kind of dance around the same figures throughout all these different lives that I think that you're on top of me picking the path. I will, in the next life, there will be a Marisa in there doing something and whatever.
Yeah.
So, and then she's like, there will be a moment when I count to 5 and you move forward 5 years and you won't see anything anymore. And she's like, that means during that 5 years, you've passed away. And she's like, it's not sad. It's what happened. And you go on. So mine was very short. And the story that I believe that happened with mine was I was a young woman. I don't think I lived past like 13, but it got very specific. I was abducted and I was kept in like an underground cellar by like 3 men, and they abused me sexually repeatedly, and I had nothing, and I died in this place, and it was awful. But you learn that and you're like, okay. And I'm telling you, ladies, it answered so many things in my life. Like, I don't drink alcohol because I think in that life I died as a child, and in this life I kind of just I still have kind of immature taste buds. I like fast food and candy, so that kind of carried over. I'm a gay man that's attracted to kind of like dominant men, so like that is something that could have carried over from that. I'm kind of a hoarder and I collect things, and I think because in that life I didn't have anything, so it's like when I find the jacket I want, I buy like 4 of them because I don't want to have that experience of not having those things again. So I'm telling you, when I say that I believe it, like when she told me to tell my story, I immediately started sobbing because it really felt like I had found this missing piece of my life. So I tell people now this, like, at jobs and stuff, and I'm like, okay, John, you were a girl that was raped. And I'm like, but I was.
Oh,
That's why I'm collecting Simpsons toys.
Because she never had them. Give me all the Hans Moleman
I want a
statues.
charm bracelet. I've spent the last 10 years trying to create a charm bracelet. So I picture her, like, maybe her mom had a charm bracelet and that was like something that she remembered. I don't know. So, and then Marissa's is also very kind of like, I'll let you tell it, but
yeah, I've always, well, I was a vegetarian for a really long time. I recently, for health reasons, have introduced a little bit of meat, but I never, John makes fun of me because I still say I'm a vegetarian, but
she says she's a vegetarian as she's eating a smash burger.
Chicken fingers and smash burgers a couple times a month. But I was, in my vision, I had a machete and it's funny how fast the imagery like pops in your head. It's not like you're thinking like, well, maybe I could be this. No, I could be that. It was like immediately you're watching a movie and it was carrying a machete and like stomping through some kind of like woods. And I was slaughtering pigs. I was looking for wild pigs to slaughter. And I don't eat pork and I've like never eaten pork. And I'm like, well, that explains why I was like the town butcher.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was like
very
and
dangerous work.
Dangerous work. Yeah.
When you told the guide that, her first thing she said was, she's like, are you by any chance a vegetarian in this life? And
Yes.
you were like, yeah. And that made sense to her why she would be now.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Whoa,
Yeah.
because both of your like the lives you saw are so specific and so just like, why would you just make that up?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why would you
Random.
go to being like, I'm a 13-year-old girl held by three freaks, like, or I'm slaughtering pigs.
She's a part of me. Like, I consider her part of my canon now.
Yeah.
I don't know her
crazy.
name.
Yeah.
Like, I've never gotten to that, like, what her name was. I don't know if it's, like, something... I could not really figure out what time period it was. I think it was probably, like, the 50s or something like that. I don't think it was too long ago. But, you know, if in a ideal world... Now that I think about it, because I am an Emmy Award-winning researcher, I don't want to throw that out there, but I should be able to find this girl.
Honestly,
I think
maybe,
you need to go back in.
If there was
hate
anything
to-
that existed of her,
Yeah,
but I don't have even
like
really
this,
a
but
nugget.
I'm honestly kind of shocked that you haven't in a decade tried.
It never really entered my mind because it's like, what am I looking for? Like, if it was the 50s, it's not like there's going to be some like New York Times article, like young girl like killed by maybe there's something.
Well, there would be maybe missing.
Maybe, yeah.
I think you need to
Possibly.
go back in with the lady and get like a name or a hometown, and then you could find like a local.
Right.
Maybe
missing
when
person.
you use that gift certificate, you might.
Great
There you go.
point.
It's not a bad idea.
That's
okay.
a great idea.
That is a good
We're
idea.
not talking about a $20 fortune teller. This is a prestige psychic.
She was working at the time. You know how it is. When you're working, you buy expensive gifts. And now sometimes we're poor and we're like, wow, I spent $200 on a psychic. I do that when I do my taxes. I'm like, I spent $800 to go see Adele. And now I can't even afford like Jersey Mike's. It's a different time.
Yeah, feast and famine, baby. That's the lifestyle.
Yeah.
No,
But that is a good idea. I appreciate that suggestion. I
Yeah.
like that.
I
That'd
wonder
be
if people
cool.
ever do like a past life regression. They're like, I'm not going to tell anyone, but I was a real bad murderer.
Right? Like, I was one of those three dudes or something. Like,
Yeah. Like,
Well, I'm sure you've heard that story about there's like some girl. She was a very young girl who apparently was the reincarnation of Anne Frank. And like she knew everything about Anne Frank's life, and it went on long enough that like her parents like took her to like where Anne Frank's family hid, and they were like walking there, and she's like, no, it's this way. And I don't know how old she had. In my head, she's like an 8-year-old, 10-year-old girl. She's like, no, it's over here. And then like they went there, and it's become so believable that Anne Frank's descendants believe that this is her. Like she just has, and you hear that all the time about kids that are like, I died in like World War II plane accident or whatever.
Yep.
It's like that shit is crazy to me.
I tried so hard to get past lives out of my kids, and I am not getting jack shit. We'll just be like laying before bed, and I'm like, so who were you before you were you?
I say this with love. I do, and it's not a slam at all. I do feel like your son, he's new.
he's new here.
Might be new. This might be his first time, or maybe like he was like a radish before. But my daughter
I'm ready to try to be a human this time.
I asked last night, I said, like, have you ever seen a ghost? And then they'll be like, oh, yes, I saw a baby ghost. It had a sheet on its head and 2 little eye holes cut out. I'm like, no, you've been influenced by culture. It's like, I didn't get in early enough before that you were on the other side, so close to the other side of the veil.
Well,
that's when I need to get it.
You should tell them. So her son just had a birthday. Tell them what his ideal birthday theme was.
Oh, it was Halloween. They're both spooky kids. Yeah, they're really spooky
fun.
kids. We're a spooky family. We're a spooky family.
Well,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
they
I
had
was
to
going to
do-
say, if
No,
it
go ahead.
is a first time around for them,
Yeah.
often on a first time, often as if I know anything, that a soul chooses a very nice and easy life for its introduction to humanity.
That makes
And
sense.
that.
And they found, even though the world is chaotic, they found very nice, kind love. They found the easiest version of a family to come into.
Oh,
I love that. I'll believe that to be true.
I believe watching you with him, you and David. Yes, you definitely
thank
create
you.
a very lovely bubble for him.
Thank you so much. I'm not surprised that there's spooky kids and that they like spooky stuff, because that is definitely like how I was as a kid. So I'm fully in support of their exploration of all things spooky.
If I had a kid that was like, "Don't you see him? He's right there," I would like just pick him up and put him on the porch. Like, I don't want like a
I'm with
spooky
you.
kid in my
You're
house.
out of this house.
No,
I'm not living with you.
no,
Get out
go.
of here.
You live with him now.
Yeah. Now, have you had any other experiences? It sounds like yes.
As a kid, yeah, my friend and I, we would do Ouija boards. We would make Ouija boards out of wine glasses and like a piece of paper.
Oh.
And I swear we contacted people who were on the Titanic.
Oh my God, yes.
Is that why we had? Is that Titanic is a running theme on our show?
I love Titanic, and I've loved Titanic since a kid. So I was like 11 years old, and you know, you would find somebody, you'd go, okay, the name John Dingleberry, and then whatever, and then you like look in your Titanic book, and you're like, I'm like, what class were you? You know, and it's like, oh, I was a poor, and then you like look, and you're like, there was a guy named John Dingleberry.
Yep.
In my mind, I don't know if it was exactly that airtight, but in my mind it was. But I was so into spooky stuff. Like there was some class project that I did. I have a VHS tape of it where I was walking around in a cemetery. Remember how like first school you get a project, and then if it sounded like it was a lot of like work and writing, you could make a video and then you'd get an instant A.
Yes. I did that constantly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every project, I was like, I'll make a video and I'll probably show clips from The Simpsons. Or a whole episode from The Simpsons.
Great. And you'll find a way to tie it into the theme.
Yes.
I was constantly doing shit like that. And the teachers are so happy because like they get to just like sit back and roll in the TV and watch a tape instead of reading something. And I know there was one that I did because I have a tape of like walking around a cemetery, like in our local, I grew up in San Juan Capistrano, which is a city that has a mission and it has a lot of like spooky past, and there's a really cool old cemetery with like the like just the wood crosses, the like unmarked graves. And so I like to walk around there as a kid. And I had a really strong fascination with psychics. And this was the time when you would see a lot of ads on TV for psychic readings, which I think have been like widely debunked. And it's those kind of things. Like, I hate when anybody debunks all psychics because of like shitty ones. It's like, if you get a bad haircut, does that mean that like nobody can do haircuts? No, it just means that person wasn't good. I hate that. Of course, you had to be 18 to call a psychic hotline, which I was probably like 12. So I had some years before I could get in on my psychic action. I did also have an AOL account, and I was very active in chat rooms, specifically chat rooms that were about the paranormal. There were psychic reading chat rooms. Do you guys remember this? Is this ringing any bells?
Yes.
No, I was never into the chat room thing.
Really?
This is great.
You never, Betsy, you weren't cybering? Come on.
I wasn't really cybering.
No
I was
ASL?
truly looking
Age,
up
sex,
like
location?
Simpsons clips and like Saturday Night Live clips. Like that's all I was looking up on the internet.
You can find your people in a chat room, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think, Marisa, you might be talking about pre-finding a clip on the internet, right?
Oh,
like
yeah. For sure.
When I had AOL, you couldn't find a clip on the internet yet because I'm older than you enough that like it wasn't available yet whenever I started using it.
The internet was very small. It was AOL too. It wasn't a website. It was a computer program that could somehow connect you with perverts, or psychics. So the chat rooms, it was like, to me, that was my in where I could get a psychic reading because they don't know how old I am, or if they're a good psychic, maybe they will know and maybe they won't care because they're just doing the Lord's work. So I'm in a chat room and it's probably 2 a.m. because I don't have a bedtime and my family is lawless. I'm at the family computer. I am in a psychic chat room and I write, hey, I'd like a psychic reading. If anybody can give me one, send me an instant message. I get an instant message from somebody that AOL name is Angel2God. Okay, Angel2God. I remember that to this day.
Yes.
And I say, hey, I'm not 18. I hope that's okay. She goes like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. I start asking some questions. I'm kind of doing a little testing. I'm like, okay, what does the room that I'm in look like? Describes it perfectly. No. I say, okay, well, what do I look like? Like, what am I wearing? Describes it perfectly. At that point, I'm like starting to get a little freaked out, but I'm like exhilarated because it's the moment I've been waiting my entire life for. I do a test where I say, okay, where's my sister right now? Because I know my sister, she was a teenager. She was out like at a taco place with her friends. And she says, she's upstairs in bed. And I go like, gotcha, bitch. I know where she is. And she goes like, no, check. So I went and I'm like, okay, my sister's home. I thought she was out. Okay, interesting. Point to the psychic. Got everything right so far. I'm like, how do you know how are you getting all this right? She says, I can like see you, like in my mind's eye, I can see you. Then I start to have a little fun because I'm like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
John makes fun of me for this question, but my next question is, who in my class has a crush on me?
Yes.
What other question do you ask? That's the question.
Is there anything more relevant?
I make fun of her for that because I never in my life have been confident enough to assume that anyone would have a crush on me.
I didn't think anybody, I'm like, if somebody does, I need to know. Okay, because this is not obvious to me. I don't think to my knowledge, it's none, but maybe there's somebody who does, and that would be really important information for me at 12.
Yeah.
She responds, she goes, I don't know what this means, but this is a list of names of people who are really close to you. I see them around you. She gives a list of names. I don't remember what they are. I think it was like 5 to 10 names. So that was obviously like too many for this question, but it was like Devin, Charlie, Tony, Tyler, whatever. And I'm like, these aren't the names of the boys in my class. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, we flew a little too close to the sun. I gotcha. Not real. We had some fun. I say goodbye. I sign off. I turn to my left. There is a piece of paper next to me on the desk that has a list, and my sister made this list. It was names of her friends in her class, and then their screen names, which you do like to know your friend's screen names so you can instant message them. Every name that she said was close to me was on that list.
Oh my God.
I turned my computer off. I ran upstairs, hid under my blanket. I cried myself to sleep. I did not know what to do. It completely like broke my reality. And as somebody who's always been chasing that like proof of something else going on, there's nothing that comes close to having like an experience like that. And I don't even know what that experience means. Like, what does that even prove? I don't know. I don't know what this person did.
Angel2God.
Angel2God. And this is the part that people are a little dubious of, but I swear this part is true too. The next day, I muster my strength. I'm like, we need to go further with the Angel2God.
Yes.
I try to send an email. This screen name does not exist. What happened that night? I don't know. I don't know what happened.
No,
And
that is wild.
You're positive your sister didn't make like a fake AOL account.
This is something that people say. I'm positive she was upstairs sleeping. We had one computer. There would have been no way. There would have been like no way to do it. There's no other like internet in the house. This is the one computer.
This is
she
like
would
when
have had to
the
know I'm
phone
in a
is
chat
used.
room.
Yeah.
That's going to be her deathbed confessional. She's going to be like, I am God.
I rented a laptop from the school library.
Again, this is pre-laptop days, Betsy.
Dang it, I don't know.
Betsy, are you 9 years old? It's stuck an iPad in your bedroom.
I can remember like I was in high school, I think, when AOL came about. Maybe no, junior high. I was in junior high.
Yeah, this was definitely junior high. I think we had AOL starting when I was like 10 years old, and it was the Wild West. But that was like the moment where I was like, I have to believe that there's more out there. And I had all the proof I needed. Any smart people who say like there's no evidence. If you have a personal story, a personal experience, it's like there's no anything I could say that would like, take that away from you, because like I lived it, you know?
Yeah.
Do you ever doubt your memory with any of it?
This is the thing. It's like, why would I remember that one thing? Like, it was so formative. I wouldn't have just generated that because I remember how I felt. I remember being so scared. I've told that story so many times.
Yes.
It was like, I was too scared to tell my parents. Like, I was like thinking like I'll get in trouble for trying to talk to a psychic on the computer. The thing that they think I only use for learning.
Yeah. Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that was a fun one. So my whole childhood, I've been chasing the spookiness, and the amazing psychic that Jon refuses to see, even though his visit is paid for, the past life regression. I'm still just kind of chasing that same high, and I have yet to see an actual ghost, but I am inviting it.
Oh, well, that's all you got to do.
Well, once they start using the NASA money for it, you're definitely on a better path to seeing a ghost.
I have a plane ticket. I'm flying to DC. I will go in front of Congress. I think it's important.
Positive we were on the same Herald team when I had my most impactful ghost experience, where there was it's because I used to live down
in your house. Yes.
Yeah, and I had a man speaking in Spanish at the foot of my bed. So I'm sure I told you guys that immediately. Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. And when I would think about one of my friends is like the one who gets it the most and is the most open-minded about spooky stuff, it's always you. You would talk to me about the New Orleans, the spooky, just it's in your blood, basically.
Yes.
I love it.
And then Nicole Byer and Millheiser lived there, and they had experiences. Our friend Steve Slog. It's just a haunted ass place.
I'm sure you've told the story. What happened with the man at the foot of your bed?
I just woke up to someone speaking Spanish and then was like, oh my God, there's someone in my room, but it wasn't. And then the next night I was like, don't wake me up tonight. And then my iPhone was turned off in the morning, even though it was plugged in. So I was like, I'm not talking to him. He's a jerk. I don't like him.
So like, what is that? Like what, like I'm disappointed that with as much access as everybody has to like filming shit that like, there's not more hard proof.
But well, this is pre all that though, before everything is getting recorded.
It's true.
You're talking about now.
Like why there's not more. I don't know.
It's the same with Bigfoot. I mean, I still will see. There's a new picture of Bigfoot, and it's still grainy. It's always grainy.
Right.
How come it's 2025? How is
Our
it always?
phones have 7 cameras on them.
Yeah,
and what are
that's
we
a
doing?
good point.
Guys, he's messing with the electricity.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
I like that.
And honestly, there would never be a video or unrefutable proof that people wouldn't find a flaw in, that people wouldn't say like, well, that was doctored, or now even AI.
AI
Especially
came
nowadays.
too fast. It came too fast.
For sure. I agree.
Because there is a Bigfoot TikTok account, and he's just like, hey guys, did you see this? And
Yeah, I know.
Just talking to you.
There's no hope now to get any true ghost proof because it's just, we're fucked. Yeah.
And I have friends that I would respect if they didn't get duped by AI so much. Like constantly sending me like a moose that's too big, and I'm like, that moose isn't real. It's just not real.
I know. AI has
that
baby
baby
me a few
riding
times.
that bulldog. Yeah,
It's
I know.
not
It's crazy.
real. It's not happening.
It's a real bummer.
When I was in high school, I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I was what would now be called like a goth kid or an emo kid. When I grew up, they called us culture queers, which I've talked about on our show. It's the only place I know where that term exists, but that's what it was. We dressed in black, and I don't know if I like let that in, but I dressed like I would always wear crosses and like holy, like I would thrift shop a lot, and I found like this, like it seemed like a priest old box. It was like a wooden box with a cross on top of it that had a candelabra with like melted candles already on it with crucifixion as part of the candelabra.
Oh my God.
This was back when thrift stores, I probably got that for like 90 cents.
Yes.
You would find that it would be like $30, $40, whatever.
For sure.
But so like And I went through a vampire phase. I don't know if you guys ever talked to vampires. Like, I had a little coven. My best friend's name was Fetus. And when she would write me letters, she would sign it, Your Sister of Mercy. So, like, Anne Rice's books were like my Bibles. I was Louis. I was the tortured vampire because I had to kill to survive. I didn't want to, but I had to. So I would feast on rat blood and things like that because I didn't want to take human life. So I lived it pretty hard in high school. And then I got out of the way I got out of it was Fetus. We were in my backyard and she bit me on my neck to where it drew blood. And I was like, bitch, I'm out. And like I ran to the Gap and bought a sweater and found a new identity as fast as I could. Then I tried to be George Michael. Yes. But I remember when I was a kid, my mom, we lived on a place called Hilton Head Island in South Carolina.
Oh la la!
I know.
Golf?
Very fun golf course. Yes.
Is it golf carts? Wow,
it's
that's
golf
fun.
carts, and like we lived in a place called Sea Pines Plantation. Very sad, simple side story. My brother and I were on the beach with my mom, and a photographer came by, and he thought we were so cute. We were like little toe-headed boys playing on the beach. He took our picture to have us put on like a Hilton Head postcard. He sent us one copy of it. My mom got one copy of a postcard that her children are on, allowed me to take it to show and tell in 5th grade, and some jealous kid stole it, and it's literally like the thing I've been searching for my entire life.
So sad.
A Hilton Head postcard with 2 little toe-head boys on the beach. So if you have that in your thing.
That's so sad.
But I remember when we were little, my mom, we were somewhere like an old plantation or something. Both of my stories are kind of plantation slavey, which I don't love, but it just is. But we were like at this place that felt it was like deserted and hadn't been used forever and felt very ghosty. And out of nowhere, my mom just stops and she's like, do you hear that? And she was the only one that could hear it, but she heard these like heavy chains like making a noise. And like I still am like, no. I was like, that scared us to death. And then later she was like, not at that same time, but like later she was asleep on the couch and she woke up with a startle with someone like grabbing her ankle and nobody was there.
Oh my God.
My personal...
And you're like, Mom, you're supposed to tell us these things aren't happening. That's your job as a mom. To be like, no, that's crazy.
We're Gen X. Like there was no like filtering anything back then. Everything was on the table back then. But my first year in college, it was the first time I had ever lived alone. I lived in a little single dorm room. And I went upstairs to take a nap. And I was falling asleep. And it was so quick. But as I was falling asleep, I saw myself as like a dapper gentleman in a suit standing in like a mansion on a plantation with my hands in my pocket, like looking out at all my land. And in my head, I was a good guy. I was like, I knew that I didn't have slaves or something, but I knew it was of that time and of that world. But like, I woke up and I was like, that was not a dream. I was like, I experienced that at some point. And that was other than the little girl thing. That was the first time where I had a moment. I'm like, I don't think this is the first time I've gone around here. So
right.
That was my little
Sounds
past
like
life
we
experience.
got to get the past life lady back over.
Right.
Yeah.
Marcy and I will come for sure.
Yeah. We'll definitely come back. We'll have to come back and tell you what happens. I was just going to ask her if what do I have to do to have a successful podcast? But now I have to ask her about my plantation life and being raped as a little girl.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. She's going to be like, this is a tough one. And I was just going to do a group reading and do ha-ha hee-hees. And now we're really tackling some pretty big issues.
I don't know how good my camera is, but I have a picture. Maybe I can hold it up and show you. So my daughter, sometimes she'll take my phone and like take selfies with it. And so I found this. Are you able to see this picture?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a funny selfie. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on something in the background. So I was like, oh, this is a cute picture. And then I was like, wait.
So cute.
Who is who's that?
Wait,
Do
it's hard
that?
to see.
I need to like, do you see that?
It's hard to see.
It's really hard to see.
I wish I could send it to you. Okay, I'm going to, can I text it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll email it because I have both your emails.
Do a little email to us.
Because
snail mail
this is
it.
really awesome. You know what? I'm gonna lick an envelope.
While she's doing that, I mean, I'll talk about how I also went to AOL chat rooms, but they were all M for M chat rooms, which were new at the time. And to be a young gay man and find a community of gay people online, I would be up until like 5 a.m. Like my eyes would be bleeding. I was so excited, like talking to other gay people.
Oh, I bet. Did you ever like meet up with anybody or? I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean. As I grew older, yeah.
Yes, of course.
I talk about how I've lived through all the stages of like gay hookups, like cruising Griffith Park to like AOL chat rooms to Grindr to like now Swipe at like just I've been through every incarnation of how you can hook up with other gay people.
Whoa! What's your favorite?
Yeah. Not my favorite, maybe. I don't know. The most exhilarating one was hooking up behind a porn shop in Vegas.
Oh, I mean, that's like classic Vegas. That's a good Vegas hookup.
That was classic Vegas.
If you look behind any porn shop, it's just like a row of guys on their knees blowing truckers. There's like a baker's dozen of them.
I'm so sorry, Marissa. I just got this picture in. Oh, my God.
Ew,
is that scary or what?
God. Who is that?
They lost their minds over this image.
Isn't that scary?
Like, well, no.
Like, who is that? If I
I can't see it at all.
So this is...
And that's not David.
No, it's not. She was alone in the room.
We were all in the living room. They went and tried to figure this out, like if it was a weird shadow.
We tried to recreate it. Like I found the exact spot where she was, and I don't know how that face got there. If we hadn't just moved to this house, like I would have literally stuck a for sale sign in the front yard. I would not have made it another night. Can you believe that? That is scary, right?
That is horrifying.
I have not gotten any other spooky sense of anything in the 10 years we lived here. So I don't know what that is. But boy, that one really kept me up at night for a while.
And her daughter also has, like, soon after our friend Matt passed away, who we talked about, didn't she see him?
I can't tell how much I might have been forcing it because I do try to really lean in where she was kind of like, over there, like there's someone over there. It's hard to tell because kids say like they say shit all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm really fishing for it. I'm like, oh, well, that could be the spirit of somebody who's passed. You know, the energy
like,
cannot
Mom
be created.
Needs this right now. Let's
Exactly. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. You know that. So it's very possible.
Every night before bed. Okay, good night. Say it. Energy cannot be
created nor destroyed. Okay, it only transfers.
That is such a freaky picture.
I know that one. You can post that to your spooky friend because that one. And I didn't even post it on social media because I was like, I'll be on the news if this happens. It's so scary.
Do you want me to obscure her face with a sticker or something?
You can obscure her face so she doesn't get hunted down outside school. The news van wanting to interview her about the spooky man in her bedroom.
Honestly, if you want to find Marissa's child, just take Marissa's face and put it on a very small girl.
Yeah, that would work too.
She's looking like you a lot.
Yeah,
my goodness. Yeah, kids, they can say some really spooky stuff sometimes. Something about it coming out of a kid's mouth really like amps up the the spookiness.
Oh yeah. Sure. You've got to put him on the porch, right?
Yeah, get him out of there. Get him out of there.
Yeah. John just keeps a chair on our porch, a little chair, just in case. He's like Super Nanny with like the naughty step. It's like that, but for like the spooky step. So if the kid says anything too spooky, 10 minutes on the porch, get it out of your system, and then you can come back inside.
But it's 3 a.m.
I'm telling you, there's a man sitting on my bed and he's speaking Spanish.
Oh my gosh.
That's what you do.
Dark.
Wow.
I get so easily spooked by subtle things. Like, I don't know if you saw Paranormal Activity, but the idea of someone just standing next to a bed next to me for 3 hours and not saying anything, that's the stuff that'll send me like into an insane asylum.
Those movies are so good and scary.
Yeah,
they really
without really seeing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
we watch a lot of scary movies. We have a little spooky movie club, and Paranormal Activity, the Conjuring series. It gets
Love
a little wild with the
Conjuring.
Annabelles and the nuns, but we still have fun. The Boy, like things like that.
The Boy.
It's kind of like genuinely frightening. Or it's few and far between the movies that can do it, but The Conjuring for sure, definitely the Paranormal Activity, and we love it. We love it.
We did a dress up night one night. Everyone had a dress, I think, from The Conjuring, and David her husband dressed up as the nun. I wish we had that picture. He looked very much like Uncle Fester when he was all done.
That's what I'm saying.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Now, do y'all have time to listen to one of our listener stories?
I would
love to.
All right, I'm
Yes.
gonna pull it up.
Yes. Fun.
Hi, Marcy and Betsy. I wanted to tell you guys about my ghost experiences. I have 3 major experiences in my life. The first one comes from my cats. I have had 2 cats, Eros and Athena. Eros died when he was about 10, and Athena was about 20 when she died.
20.
Shortly after Eros died, I used to see him quite frequently out of the corner of my eye, still walking around my apartment. And the 2 cats are very distinctive. He was black with a little bit of white, and she was a gray color. So I could not be mistaken for the living cat. He definitely was easy to spot out of the corner of my eye. I see him less and less over time, but even in my new place, I've seen him at least once, I think twice. So I think he still comes around and visits. And then Athena, I'm pretty sure that I felt her jump up on the bed. I felt the cat jump up on the bed and snuggle with me. And I think that was her because it generally was in about the same spot that she used to lay next to me. She was not a cat that really, she wasn't like a lap cat. She wasn't going to sleep on you. She was going to sleep next to you. So it was kind of the same general area that she used to hang out in my bed with me. However, I've also felt the cat jump up and sleep on me, and so I also think that's also probably Eros coming back to visit me and sleep with me too. So I think both my cats have visited. My second ghost experience is at my last apartment. I used to hear this whispering in my ear quite frequently, and that I call it twilight, that space between like when you're not fully awake but you're not asleep either. I would hear this whispering, and I could never make it out. It was never like loud enough or clear enough, and I always picture Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense when he's listening to that recording, and then he like turns up the volume, and it's like slowly turns it up, and then he can start to hear and make out what the person is saying. I just feel like if I could just turn up the volume just a little bit more, I could figure out what they were trying to communicate, but I could it just never happened. I didn't have any way to turn up the volume, and it never got any clearer or louder for me, but I just constantly kept hearing this whispering. So somebody was trying to communicate something to me, but I never got the message, and I have not heard it since I moved. And then finally, my third story, which is the most terrifying, comes from when I was 3 years old. I was asleep in my room, and then I felt someone wiggling my toes. So my feet were out from under the covers, and somebody was literally with their hand wiggling my toes.
Ew.
And then I looked up, and there was nobody in my room, and my bedroom door was closed, so it's not like somebody could have just wiggled my toes and then, like my brother or something like that, and then ran out of the room without me knowing about it. My door was closed. I was the only one in there, and somebody was wiggling my toes. And so I knew from that point on, I would never, ever, 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 ever be able to sleep with my feet out from under my covers without somebody wiggling my toes.
Ew.
So I've made it a point never to do that. However, one time in college,
No.
it happened. I found to have my feet exposed, and I woke up to someone wiggling my toes in my dorm room. And no, it wasn't my very nice, non-prankstery friend roommate who was clearly passed out and asleep in her bed on the opposite side of the room. I knew it. I knew it was whatever that presence was. And I have no idea who that is. But I just know with every fiber of my being that anytime my toes are left exposed, they're going to get wiggled by this mysterious weirdo ghost. I have no idea why they do it, what they want, what the purpose is, but I don't like it. And so my feet are always tucked under, always and forever tucked under. Those are my ghost stories. Thank you.
Oh.
Wow.
Sarah. Oh no.
Isn't that funny that like the toe wiggling, there was the instinct that it was negative, because that could have been like, and it was like, I felt like it was like my great grandma, because that could be something like a little old person could do as a little cute thing with a kid. It just felt wrong.
Marisa, I was just thinking the same thing. Like, is it someone that's like part of the family just being like, hello?
Yeah.
But if it feels nasty, it might be
Don't
nasty.
wiggle somebody's toes.
I mean, it's very common in this world to have a foot fetish. And I've learned it's because your sexual part of your brain and the feet part are very close to each other. That's why a lot of people have. So I think
There's
this
a feet part of your brain? A part of your brain that controls your feet? I guess so.
Something like thoughts of, yeah.
Mine are
Whatever
moving right now. I guess.
Whatever the two.
It's happening again. It happens every time I get up and walk. Who's doing this? That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think she's just being haunted by a foot fetish guy or lady.
Whoa.
I
don't
did
like
like
that.
I like what she said about Twilight, because that is how I would describe that moment where I saw the plantation, where I wasn't asleep. I think because I've also recently heard that, like, and maybe you guys will be like, this is why, like, we don't know why we sleep. Like, why do we like lay down and turn off for 8 hours? Like we don't know why that happens. So maybe that little.
So a third of the NASA budget goes to ghosts.
Yes.
A third of it goes to panda killing the pandas.
No, we don't need to spend more money on them.
We should just kill all the pandas. That'll take $100,000.
A third will go into what the hell is going on
Why
with
are we
sleep?
sleeping?
Dreams? Why do we dream? That is so
Why do we
crazy.
dream? I do think we should spend a couple thousand to study feet and feet fetishes for her.
Okay.
She took the time to call in.
Now I know who has the fetish. Okay.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it a foot fetish. Like, I'm not against a nice foot.
You wouldn't mind somebody wiggling your toes at the end of your bed?
Look, at this point, it would just be nice to be touched.
Oh, yeah. John does sometimes sleep in shoes, though.
Huh?
He sometimes sleeps in jeans and shoes.
Is that
What?
true?
You guys don't ever
Yes.
sleep in jeans?
No.
Like in a bed?
Yeah.
No. I also don't ever wear jeans.
Wow.
Not a
And
jean head.
Wait, how? In your shoes too?
In
I
bed?
mean, the shoes, she's kind of exaggerating with the shoes. Have I fallen asleep in shoes? Sure. But I actively sometimes choose to sleep in jeans. For me, it's kind of like a swaddling. Like I like to wear
That
a nice.
could be past life, maybe.
Yeah, again,
Yes.
I was a young child.
Yes,
I need to
yes.
feel
And
And you
comforted.
probably, but you also probably slept in clothes a lot as that child. So you
Oh.
slept
All
in
those
Yeah.
pieces come
Because
together.
I have never once chosen to sleep in jeans, but I've also never fallen asleep with shoes on, like by accident.
Well, I get
Is
tired.
that common to fall asleep
I mean,
with your
maybe
shoes
on
on?
an airplane.
Sure, on an airplane.
In a car. But yeah,
No,
like
I'm in a car. Yes, you might be nodding off in a car.
I'm not off in a car immediately. If
Yeah.
I'm not driving, I'm snoozing. Even if it's like a 5-minute drive.
I'm taking off my shoes as soon as we're at cruising altitude, and I'm sticking my bare feet on the
Ew.
rest of the person in front of me.
And you're going to the bathroom without putting your shoes
I'm
back
going to the bathroom.
on.
If they want to wiggle my toes in the seat in front of me, Go for it.
Some little ghost. Some little plane ghost.
Sure.
I saw a very funny TikTok of this person where it was like someone in front of them was reaching their hands behind and just kind of had their fingers like over their TV screen, like kind of just not paying attention. Someone just being like, la, la, la. And so they poured a little bit of water into the palm of their hand and just went, achoo, and flicked the water on the hand. So they were like, oh.
That is so funny.
They should have done that classic 80s prank and dipped their fingers in warm water, and then they would have peed themselves and then had to would have been humiliated.
Yes.
And freeze that guy's bra also.
And then freeze their bra.
Because I always take off my bra as soon as we hit cruising altitude. The shoes are off, the bra is off. I need to be comfy.
You are not. Yeah.
She has a little travel clothesline that she hangs up next to the window so she can hang everything up.
Not worried about a plane crash at all.
Oh, honey, I'm up to my gills in Ativan. I am prepared to become an angel to God if I must. I am not connected to this body.
Yep. Take it. Goodbye. You guys, this has been so fun. You guys,
this was so fun. Thank you so much for having us.
It was fun. Tell our listeners where to find y'all.
Well, every Thursday, we release new episodes of On Brand with Jon and Marisa, so you can find those wherever you get your podcasts. We also have another show on our Patreon called Off Brand with Jon and Marisa. If you want less brand talk and more just jibber jabber, some smut, this is where we read smut that we've written. No, but, we have a Patreon also. So there's 2 ways to listen to us with 2 episodes a week, and it's a lot of fun. So check it out.
Cool.
And I try to search the whole name, because if you just search On Brand, you're going to end up on a Russell Brand podcast. And nobody wants that.
Funny.
Nobody wants that.
By Russell Brand himself, right? It's just him talking.
A fan podcast for Russell Brand.
A fan podcast about Russell Brand.
If you can believe it.
that
if you
real?
can believe it. It is real. It's very strange. I don't know why.
Whoa.
And they put out weekly episodes.
Yep.
I mean, there's
And
a
I
lot to
think
talk about.
they're still ahead of us on Apple. If you search On Brand, they come up first, baby. So we got to get ahead of them.
Yeah, we can
fix
fix
that.
that. We'll fix that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
This
thank
has
you
been
guys.
such a joy.
Yeah,
I love what you guys
thank you
do.
so much for being on.
The forum to be able to talk about the wild and wacky is something new to us, so it's very fun.
Well, anytime when you do see your ghosts, come back.
Thank you.
Yes.
And when I see the psychic, we'll have to do a
My
follow
God.
up.
We'll do a
Yes.
past life regression. We'll go all in. We'll go deeper.
Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yes. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.